If you were one of the lucky 1 million people who got to update to Canva's new Visual Suite 2.0 in the latest Canva update in April of 2025, you probably realize there are lots of cool new features, but there is one thing that is missing, especially for people who create in vertical layout. So in the old setup, and this is a free account that I have, I did not update it yet, there was a grid view, which you could see on the lower right bottom where these 4 squares are. If you click on it, you can see your entire design, all of your pages of your project laid out side by side, which is very good for if you are proofing your things to see if you missed anything, if something's slightly off, if you need to see what pages you've already created or still need to create. And this is also important for digital and printable product creators who create in vertical layout, because I know many of them will go to this page and then take a screenshot across here to help promote their products in a quick and easy way. So this is the old Canva before the update, and then the new Canva layout looks like this. And one really cool thing about this is that this is an 8.5 by 11 page, which is US letter size. All of these are the same size. And then we get down to where you would add another page, and you can add a page of the same size and shape as just as you always would, or you can add any other kind of project document in here into your single project, which is very useful if you're creating multiple sizes for different platforms. So if I wanted to turn this into an Instagram post or something to share anywhere else, I could easily do that by adding another page, copying and pasting it over elements, and getting that all done in one place. The downside to this update is if you go to grid view, you now cannot see your entire document if you are working in a vertical layout. Now, it is still very much the same if you're working in a square layout. I have here with my autumn illustrations collection, and if you want to know what I did wrong with these and what I'm doing to fix them, drop a comment down below and I will get that to you if you are the owner of these set of illustrations already. I, of course, will get you the new updated, easier to use version, same, just minor tweaks. And as with all my products, if something I find out or realize later down the road isn't quite right or could be easier, you will always get an updated version of that. You can also find the link to these illustrations in the information below the video with the video description. So what can we do about this? So there's no way to go back right now. Canva is aware of this, which I am very pleased to say. They have seen all of the comments and feedback, and so that's really important and good that they're listening. This concept that I made is based on Illustrator and using artboards. So Adobe is a much more robust design company, and their software just has more tools in it specifically for designing things in detail, and Canva has many great features. Theirs are not always up to the same level as the Adobe Suite, but so here is an artboard. It is an 8.5 by 11, just like our page on Canva. If I wanted to make something in a different size shape, I could just click the artboard button, drag out an artboard, and then I can even change the sizes over here. But then I can make multiple things, just like Canva is now trying to move to, within one project. And this is really useful. Then I can export by artboard and have the documents all export, use them in the different platforms that I want to. So I'm going to briefly show you how to create this on your own on your own in Canva. And this is not foolproof. It is not perfect, and it is not as easy as using the grids. But while we're in the waiting period for them to get this fixed for us, this is the best workaround that I found. This is an 8.5 by 11 document, and you can do this with any type of vertical document if it's not showing up right in your grids. And if you go add page, you get a page of the same size and shape. That's not what we want right now. What we want to do is we want to go to the arrow where it gives you more options, and we're going to click on whiteboard. Now, when I go into this whiteboard, I double clicked on it. You can see the whiteboard here. It does have a dot grid on it. If you don't want that, you can go to settings and unclick show dot grid, and then you just have a white document. I'm going to leave it on for now, just so that we can see what I'm doing a little bit better. And to get the right proportions for your page, it is easiest to, I have found, to just go ahead and create a rectangle by adding a rectangle shape, filling it in with white, doing a black, or you could do gray border if you wanted to. And then I am just going to actually copy this. I'm going to do Control-C, Command-C if you're on a Mac, and then go over to the whiteboard page, and I'm going to do Control-V, Command-V if you're on a Mac. And then I'm going to leave this size, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, but I'm not going to change the corners or anything. And I'll tell you why. Once I go into my document, I can delete that off of there now. Once I go into my document and I start adding things, I'll show you. All right. I'm going to copy a few of these. Whoops. Then you'll see why I did it this way. If I want to see how my illustration, or how my design looks next to each other, if I have multiple pages, I would go and I would select using my mouse the whole thing like this, pull it across so that all of the elements are selected, and then I do copy and paste over here. Now I'm just going to click on this, and I'll show you what we're going to do to make multiple of these in just a second. And then I Command V, and then when I drag it, I can just drag and drop it over, and it's this right size and the right shape. And I can see what this would look like if I were to print it out. Now I'm going to get rid of these, and I'm going to show you what to do so that you can have multiple pages all together like you would see on the grid view in the before the update. So I'm going to click on my rectangle, and I'm going to do Control-C, Control-V, and I'm going to do that a few times. Now I just want like 5 of them up here, 5 or 6. Okay, so then I'm going to, oh, no, that's not what it is, sorry. I'm going to move that down there. Actually, I'm going to get rid of those. Okay, so I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to go to Position, and I'm going to tidy it up. Now I have 5 5 rectangles that are going to act as our grid view pages. I'm going to copy these, and I'm going to paste it again and just kind of line it up again. Now I have 12. So that is good enough for right now for showing you. I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of these, and I'm going to push on the lock. And this is why. Because if I get this, and I'm working and I have a whole bunch of elements on things, Control-C, Control-V, if I go to position this and it's not quite right, and then I have to grab it, if I do this, then I would be moving the rectangle underneath of it as well, and that just sets up a whole set of problems. So anyway, so here's this. Let me show you what this looks like on an actual document. So this is the one that I showed you before. That's a vertical 8.5 by 11. So here I have my project that I'm working on. If you want to see a video about why your colors might look different if you're printing them from Canva, or just want to learn more about colors, comment below and I will make a video that includes this information that's in this document. But for now, I'm just using it to show you this. So I have these different pages, and as I'm looking at them, I'm like, okay, yeah, they all look pretty good. But when I go to, well, I can't go to grid view. I almost did it out of habit. Okay, so I made my own grid view like I just showed you. When I go to look at it here, I can see, especially if I'm zoomed out, I can see better than what the layout looks like. I can see what pages I have, what pages I still need. And I can see based on this, it looked okay when I was just scrolling through. but I can see that this RGB, that's a little bit higher than the CMYK over here. So my text is a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I know this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I'm going to go to the number 5, and I can see it on here too. It is a little bit high, but I missed it when I was working on individual pages. So I would change that, and then I would go in here, I would grab this all by clicking and dragging across, and then I'm actually going to delete this because I locked the page underneath. I can delete, and then I can paste this on, and I still have to line it up. It's not a perfect workaround, but it is better than nothing when you need to see your designs all as one kind of document. Another thing that I see that I would fix is that these outlines here, the border is a thin black line. These have thicker lines. And then also these rectangles around the text, these are squared corners and these are rounded corners. And the reason why I did that was because these screenshots are squared and these screenshots are rounded. If I'm looking at it as a whole document, it doesn't quite look right. So I would pick one and stick with it, probably squared because these are squared. It's kind of a preference thing and sort of a perfectionist thing. All right, let's see what else. Oh, so the good news is Canva has heard the feedback and they are working on it, which I already said, but I really appreciate. In the meantime, this is the workaround. It's the best I've found. If you don't want to create your own whiteboard setup like this, you can check the link below in the video description, and you can grab one there for free that I've already made and I'm sharing as a template. So if you find this helpful, be sure to click subscribe and leave a comment. Feel free to ask any other questions you have in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. All right, wishing you many joyful creations.